Alright, so we are now ready to delve into the place for realsies, all prepared and stuff.
Now, let us depart.
Indeed. Sounds like a plan.
Excuse me, is,
I wasn't
hey guys.
I wasn't expecting this. I'm wondering if there will be a point where you'll be able to play them all. It looks like they're all remembering still, like, slowly. I think they all came here because they all started to remember everything that took place over the year. I really wonder if they're going to be at all playable in this expansion, and I really hope so, and I also really hope that your in-game romance with a plural S on the end with parentheses around it is or are going to be addressed at all in this by any kind of, like, dialogue that's clearly alluding to your relationships. Like, if honestly, I'm not expecting it, but if Makoto makes it clear that she remembers that her and Joker were a thing, I will be a very happy Durgan, but I'll be okay without that. But still, like, come on, game. Doesn't take much development time to do that, does it? Also, speaking of Makoto, I really do like this winter outfit. I always love how maturely she dresses. It's honestly hot to me for a woman to dress rather reserved and mature like that, and all the dark colors and everything. Anywho.
Looks like we've all had the same idea.
Are you here to speak with him as well?
Kinda. So, he's not here? He left around noon. Said he was meeting up with Akechi.
I think I remember seeing this somewhere. I think I remember being spoiled on this scene. Whoops. Oh well.
Sojiro said if we need to talk about stuff, we can use this place for a while.
Cool.
You know, he asked me the other day. Something along the lines of whether or not I'm okay with how things are.
Okay, I think they don't quite remember yet, but they're there slowly. I have a feeling there will be a point. I don't think they'd be showing us this if there isn't a point where they come to help us, right? I don't know. We'll see, and I hope so. But yeah.
At first I didn't know what he was talking about, but as he kept going, his words started making my chest feel all tight.
I know what you mean.
That's, that's kind of funny. That Makoto is like, but I feel like Makoto's chest tightness is a little bit more than just something's wrong. It's also, wait, what is my relationship to him again? Because as far as they all seem concerned, we're just kind of this dude that they know that's a cool dude. That's a good friend, and I have a feeling that Makoto utterly forgot. It really just seems pretty obvious that any girls you're romantic with would have forgotten that, you are romantic with them, but anyway.
Ever since then, it's like something isn't right in my heart anymore.
I have no complaints about my current life. On the contrary, in fact. I am truly happy with it.
By the way, I always will like Yusuke's gray and blue stuff going on. Similarly to why I like that, I just realized Makoto also has a lot of gray and blue. I guess I just really like that color scheme. Gray and more neutral colors and blues. And I love that they both wear those a lot, because I guess I like that a lot. But yeah, I like the combination for Yusuke of that gray jacket, which looks very snazzy, by the way, and those black pants, and that interesting blue shirt with the geometric, black shirt with the blue geometric patterns. Very interesting.
So, in that case, what is this?
It looks like it's also, like, cut interestingly on the bottom there. Yeah, they're all aware that something ain't quite right. That's good. That is what we wanted to do for them. I just gotta figure it out. I believe in them, as you can say.
So bad at figuring out this
To them when you say this stuff to them.
Hey, do you think maybe we're all running away from something super important? I've been kind of wondering for a while now. Maybe the reason his words hurt so much is because he's right. But I was too scared to admit that for some reason. That's why I pretended I didn't understand what he meant.
When I was speaking with him, I felt like I caught a glimpse of this mysterious sight. Something that shouldn't have happened, but still, I felt like I shouldn't turn away from it.
Same here.
and myself as well. It seems that we really have lost sight of something precious to us after all.
Especially Makoto in my specific case, I think.
That might be. But I'm so scared to remember what it is. If I remember that, I feel like my life as I know it is gonna end.
Oh, Futaba.
Makoto hug, everyone hug.
But even still, I don't want to feel this way anymore either. Me too.
Guess that's it, huh? He was trying to tell us all something important, and I bet he's probably still working on it somewhere.
True.
Ain't no way I'm gonna bail on him just so I can keep running from whatever it is.
When I had that strange experience you all mentioned, I saw him and the rest of us there together. I want to believe the connection we share here is a genuine one.
Well, I know if we don't do something soon, we're gonna lose our connection with him. Don't ask how I know. It just feels like the truth to me.
I admit I am happy right now, but I just can't accept the situation as it is. I'm done with trying to escape my problems.
Wait, did something all happen all of a sudden? I think so. I think they broke the cognition on themselves. I think. Or, well, otherwise, why would that stained glass breaking effect happen? By the way, that was really cool.
Well,
let's figure out where Maruki is first. I don't want to waste my time wandering about aimlessly. We encountered an information guide after going up that elevator. If he intends to welcome us in so graciously, perhaps we'll come across another guide soon. Before I forget, I suspect the battles are going to get even tougher from here on out due to our lack of manpower. Focusing on our own abilities is fine and all, but depending on the situation, it'll be more efficient to team up. Combination move we pulled off before, that wasn't half bad.
alright.
During Catchy Showtime's been unlocked. Neat, yay. Of course, that all depends on whether or not you can keep up with me. Yes, I know you're very good at murdering, Akechi, and that's scary. You know, we all know your gimmick by now, being fucking insane and unhinged. Unsane and unhinged is what I was about to say. Alrighty, friends. Let us go meet Maruki. And give him our answer, shall we? So, I played the section again, and then I basically had to quit in the middle. So I literally just decided to scrap the recording and the play session. So I've already played up to this point. So, I might not have much to say for a while, but this is powerful, and I want to hug Kasumi / Sumire. It's gonna be difficult to get used to calling her Sumire, because, you know, the whole game, we called her Kasumi. VIP patients identified. We will now begin the grand tour. The auditorium is now open. Master awaits you there with the patient you seek. Please enter through the door on the left-hand side of the entrance hall. Just as I thought, they're politely informing us of their location. That must be the door. Let's go. Alright, Maruki. I wanna, like... It becomes very clear here that he's doing this out of a deluded sense of helping people. I mean, that's already been kind of clear, but it becomes more clear. And, yeah, I kind of feel bad for him.
Let's go. Nice. I love
Not even kind of. It's pretty nice. I hope we can help him by the end of this.
Persona.
And that he won't be destroyed like the bad people were. You know, that were palace leaders. Their lives were going to be destroyed. Utterly. Honestly, I can just do this and not use up my SP. I'd rather do that. I don't know why I didn't think to do that earlier when I was going through this section, or hell, this whole place. I'm probably over-leveled enough that I don't have to worry about that.
Press on, then.
Also, I've kind of realized that Akechi shouldn't be over-leveled as ass, right? But he's still doing a lot to these things. Like, what level is he? And what level are the things here? I'll start to pay attention to that in a second, just because I'm curious. Alright, yeah, he's 75, we're 86. Yeah, everything else is around 75 here too, right? I'm guessing I'm doing enough damage to it that maybe What level are these things? Also, do I have all these too?
Too much trouble, even though nice. I love them. Sure, they're weak.
Mudun is, yeah, Mudun is, hold on. I should be able to do this, right? Actually, okay, it's looking like, okay.
Joker. Do you want to die?
Bugs was probably a lower level one, or a weaker one, but I would benefit from
That's not right.
using Joker's big boy skills.
You're mine. Okay. That one was too easy to knock down. That one was too easy to knock down. Let's show them our real power.
Damn. Oh wow, I haven't seen that before. That's badass. Listen, as much as Akechi scares me because he's fucking nuts, he's also awesome. So, in combat, anyway. I really disagree with how he sees life, but I also understand why, because...
We'll see if it's good.
Yeah,
All right.
Some shit happens.
Everyone all right? Let's press on then.
to him.
Looks like there's a safe
Really,
room around
man.
here. The cognitive effects are...
Save a Dergy!
It's a safe room.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, I don't
do it.
think I ever. I think I accidentally skipped past this save room earlier because when I loaded my last save, it was at the beginning. Wait, hold on. I just
let us depart.
Yeah. Gives Mirror's location. Oh, hold on. That's right. That's right. I forgot about this. This is a weird ass thing that I discovered last time. So I don't know fucking why, but I have a healing skill. The only healing skill I have, though, is Oratorio here. And if I go to skills, and, because, well, just to kind of demonstrate, to make sure y'all know what I'm talking about, there's auto-recover here. It's not working, because it says nobody in your party can use a healing skill. But that's fucking wrong. Because if I go to skills, but yeah, Oratorio, it's the only healing skill I have, but this list lets me use it. Then, so why doesn't auto-heal? Now, I have two possible answers for that. One, the auto-heal doesn't work with that because it is a DLC Persona skill, or more likely, in my opinion, it's because it also heals all ailments and doesn't just heal HP. And I'm guessing, in order to, make sure you don't waste SP, on, if you had, a regular healing skill that wouldn't use extra SP to do nothing because you don't have ailments after battles, then that's probably why the auto-heal doesn't work with that, but Oratorio is the only healing skill I've got. And also, I need to remember now that, with Akechi at the party, you're gonna need a persona with healing skills. It's from the original game, especially because you don't have access to the Velvet Room in this game. In this section, at least yet. I don't know if you'll have access to the Velvet Room later. I kind of don't like that you can't go back to the Velvet Room as far as I'm aware right now. At all, it seems. As far as I know, anyway. Although I don't know if you can if earlier when you're in Shibuya you can literally just go there, but I don't think so. I do wonder if it will allow you to do that at some point. To actually do Velvet Room things, and I hope so. Because if it doesn't allow you to develop things at all, that's kind of shitty, especially because you're getting new personas in here. There's new personas here. Why the fuck wouldn't it let you fuse them and stuff, unless they literally, none of them are fusible? I don't know. There's no doubt the Maruki's up ahead. Make sure you're ready. It just, that seems like an odd thing, and I'd rather just have the ability to have more personas. I know that these dungeons always work different than the core game, and I think it's part of the design philosophy of these expansions, Persona 3 Fez, Persona 5, Persona 4 Golden, Persona 5 Royal. Part of the design philosophy for these, extra dungeons that these versions of Persona games have seems to always be, hey, let's play with the way the game works and sort of shake up the formula. But I don't really know if it really is... I don't know, I'd rather keep the formula of the game, honestly, to a degree or another. more than these expansions normally do, especially in this case if it literally doesn't let you Velvet Room. I don't like that, but we'll see. It just hasn't yet, and that feels odd to me, that it's not, the Velvet Room is not an option yet, as far as I'm aware.
Thank you for coming.
Maruki, man, the thing is, he's clearly a good person at heart. There's no fucking way he isn't. But he's very deluded into thinking that what he's doing is helpful and also what these people actually need. You know? Plus, let's be honest here, in real life, changing reality like this is more than likely not even possible. But if it was, it's debatable whether that's actually helpful for the people involved. Especially if it's not something that's going to be permanent forever. I mean, Maruki doesn't know if what he's doing is going to keep up forever, right? Or if he can, or... Like, what if something goes wrong with whatever system he's using to make this happen? Because I think he's using some kind of technology to make it happen, right? Or, like, what if he dies? Then what happens to what he's doing, right? He's not thinking about long-term consequences, and he's not thinking about anything but, oh, I want to erase these people's pain. There we go. And the thing is that pain is kind of necessary in order for people to get to the best parts of their lives. That normally tends to, literally, it doesn't ever seem that way, you know, during the trauma you're going through, but in my experience, my most traumatic moments were what ended up eventually leading to the parts of my life that felt the best, because of the fact that you have to go through pain in order to understand what joy is, and you don't really realize that a lot of times, I feel, but you really do. Like, if there's no bad to compare good to, then what's good? Not just that either, but, like, a lot of times you have to learn through pain in order to appreciate good, but not just that. It's also, like, I think it's mostly that, but I feel like there was another point I had about this, but I lost it. But yeah, it's interesting. It is fascinating to think about the ramifications of this, because yeah, like, he's literally giving people what they wish for, what they'd rather, the life they'd rather have, but the moral implications of that is really interesting to think about, because is this really needed? And is this in the end what their selves before this switch was flipped, is it what they really wanted? Or was it just something, a wish that they had, like, I would like to have this person I love that died back. Of course we all would, right? But if that was possible, would it really be for the best? That's a really good thing to think about, I think. Because I don't know about that. And I think this will explore, and already has begun to explore that. Plus, like, clearly they forgot all the things that they went through as the Phantom Thieves, right? And, as far as I am aware, they also forgot what their relationship with Joker was. In Makoto's case, she probably forgot that, you know, she and Joker were an item. And that seems to be backed up by the fact that pretty much all the girl party members, I know what happens with Haru and Makoto, I think also Futaba to a degree. If their family members are around, then they'll tease the girl about Joker a little bit, in a way that makes it seem like they have no idea that there's any kind of thing going on. And then the girl will react in a way that's like, you know, no, you've got the wrong idea, like even Makoto. And I just kind of feel like, I don't know, that makes it clear that they're basically nixing whoever you romanced for this, sort of like they just sort of conveniently gloss over any effects of who you're romancing here. Like, it's just kind of conveniently set up so that the way that they all react to Joker, inquiring, like, the way that they all say, it could either just be, like, flirting or even just friendly, as like not dating, but it could also be like Makoto invites him over for dinner, right? Like, of course a girl would do that for her boyfriend, but she also might do that for a guy she's interested in, or maybe even just a friend. So it's like, you know, it's very convenient, and I just kind of wish that it was more like there was special dialogue for whoever you're dating. And I also wish that could be a thing in Strikers, yeah. And I wish that was more of a thing in general, but I know that's a lot of development time. But I still would, like, if I was in charge of a project like this, my ass would be like, motherfucking acknowledge the romances, please, thank you. Anyway, thank you for coming. Did you do something to her?
She's only sleeping. I've never had any intention of hurting her.
I never said you had any intention of hurting her, but you are doing things to her. As far as I'm aware, I'm not sure. Well, why is she sleeping? I wonder about that. I just kind of thought about that, because I've seen this scene before. Because I had to quit in the spoilers fight that's about to happen here. I'm just kind of, like, wondering, like... Because, again, this is actually the only non-blind part of this right now. Of this specific third semester part of the game. And also, like, any other royal details that are sprinkled into the rest of the game, too. Why is she sleeping here? I really do wonder about that. I wonder if that might be symbolic, or it might be like she's tired, or he put her to sleep, but why would he put her to sleep? Like, what's the purpose of that? And why would she be tired? Is it because, is this place draining her, maybe? Or is it, like, draining for her to be, I don't know, facing that she's actually Samira? I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Once her inner turmoil begins to settle, I'll have her remember her life as she wishes to live it.
Okay, so it's like... I have a feeling that that whatever he does in order to, change a person's reality to how they wish it, I have a feeling that it happens in sleep, which is why we go to sleep on the 31st, and on the 1st, reality was different, as far as I'm aware. Although granted, wasn't that guy that Morgana appeared as, wasn't he on the TV before? On the 31st? I think it was the 31st that scene was in. That scene was on, I should say. The scene where everyone's sitting at the table and in Leblon, all the Phantom Thieves, and that guy was on TV, the guy that Morgana appeared as. So I do wonder what exactly the ramifications of that are. Like, is he another person, and then all of a sudden Morgana usurped his body and identity for himself? I'm not sure.
The life that she wishes for, huh? Call it what you like. You're merely brainwashing people for your own satisfaction.
I'm wholly aware that some will interpret my acts that way. But if that self-satisfaction leads to the happiness of thousands of others, don't you agree that outcome is for the best?
I don't know, an artificial happiness, you'd have... there's a lot of moral ambiguity to this. Plus, again, I feel like if he died or something, or if someone figured out how to stop this from happening, and it didn't have to be us, right? Then all those happy people wouldn't be happy anymore anyway. Like, if you think about it, this plan is very short-sighted. As brilliant as it is, like, the ability to literally change reality, like, holy shit, that's powerful, but, like, though... And also, again, he's doing this without any of these people's consent. What if, for some reason, they don't want to go back to this as much as they feel like it would be great? Like, I think he doesn't really understand there's a difference between, man, I wish, and I would actually like to go back to that person being alive. Now, granted, these people don't act like they remember anything after what happened, and that's kind of the point, but, like, there's points in time where you realize that without your hardships, you would not be the person that you are, and you would oftentimes not have the good things that you have, or at least some of them. Like in Joker's case, for example, if Shido had not fucked him over, he would have not met all of these people that he now loves so much. Especially Makoto, who is, in my headcanon, his future wife and his girlfriend who he loves very, 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 very much. And then, of course, there's Sojiro, who is probably the absolute most dad figure person in his life, similarly to Futaba, if we take into account the fact that we don't hear very much from or about their parents. And
if I understand
and that
correctly,
makes sense, but
you went
I don't
and checked
think
in
we
on
hear
your
very
friends
much
this
about our
past
parents
week.
whatsoever in this game. I think we hear way more about them in 4. In 5, the way Sojiro tells it, they literally just kind of kicked us to the curb. And that's kind of really... But anyway, But yeah, like I said, Sojiro was kind of probably the father figure, really, to Joker, more than his actual father, as far as I would imagine, because our parents don't seem to acknowledge us this whole damn year. Think about that, right? As far as I remember, there is no hint of, like, our parents actually even trying to contact us at all. It seems indicative, right? And then, you know, all of his new friends, the whole group of Phantom Thieves were pretty irreplaceable, and then, you know, depending on how far you got with all your confidants, you know, in my Joker's case, Mishima's definitely a really good friend of his, and so is, Takemi is definitely up there. Well, I don't know, Takemi's more of, like, an acquaintance to him. I think that's kind of what most of the social link is, but you end up being able to date her, but we don't do that in this. I'm not doing that in this one now. I did do that in an old playthrough because honestly, I fucking love Takemi. She's kind of my absolute type in every possible way. Well, I don't know about every possible with a lot of them. Especially the goth girl and tomboyish way. I mean, honestly, but anywho, randomly, just like super ultra mega tangents, but welcome to the Durgan. Okay.
This reality is the one that they all wished for.
Yes, but is the one that they needed or even wanted. Like, they might subconsciously or even partly consciously wish it, but do they actually want to go back to the way things were? I don't know about that. Especially because, again, I don't think Makoto would specifically. Actually, no, I don't think any of them really would, because forgetting all this stuff, like, going back to that means forgetting about the whole Phantom Thieves thing, because bad things had to happen to them for them to be able to go through the Phantom Thieves stuff, which included a lot of highs, too. They ended up forgetting about all that shit, you know? And for Makoto, I hazard to guess, although they're conveniently glossing over this part, just probably in order to not have to do a lot of work around all the different possible romances, right? But, like, probably Makoto forgot about him. Like, that they were dating, and that probably, that hurts my Joker, I bet. I would say that my version of Joker is really hurt by the fact that Makoto seems to act like they're friends again all of a sudden. Like, in my headcanon, I imagine that they actually, like, have sort of a different way of speaking now, to each other, and they're closer, and all of that really happens off screen, but I imagine all that's gone now, right? They were dating, and now Makoto seems to think, you know, Makoto's gone back to the way things used to be before the whole Phantom Thieves things happened. Because in order to, you know, go back to not having lost who they lost or what they lost before, it requires going back to before the Phantom Thieves, and they gained a lot, you know, during their time with all the other Phantom Thieves, you could say. So, yeah, by giving them back these old lives, he's also taking things from people that might actually be more valuable to them because they've moved on at least a little bit from those things they lost, and now have other things that he's kind of ripped away from them. And while granted, none of them, again, they've completely forgotten, so it's not like they're actually feeling the effects of that loss, except they are, because we were able to, you know, jog our friends' memories a little bit, right? So now they're feeling that loss, and so they are suffering. I just realized, I mean, yeah, it took jogging their memories, so you could almost say it's our fault, but they're suffering now. The exact thing that Maruki wanted to not happen, right? So, you know, again, he's really short-sighted, and really, this is a pretty selfish plan, because he's not thinking about the actual ramifications of this. He's deciding that what he would rather have, he'd rather go back to the way something used to be, probably before the whole tragedy with his ex-girlfriend happened, right? You know, before everything happened to her that happened and made them go apart, right? And I have a feeling that hair that's holding all those cameras and stuff is his ex-girlfriend's hair. And I have a feeling she's up there at the top of this tower or what have you. I have a feeling. I kind of put that together a bit where, like, after realizing, hey, wait, hold on, Kasumi and and Sumire both have red hair, and I think they always had red hair, but don't quote me. So that brown hair that's holding everything is probably his ex-girlfriend's hair. I have a feeling it's not his hair, because like part of me was also like brown hair, but also like he's very short-haired, but besides that, and those are like long locks, like it's a very Rapunzel-y looking sort of thing, right? So it makes sense for it to be a woman's hair, right? But at the same time, like, and at the same time, it's lighter brown than his hair is. So I think it is his ex-girlfriend, and that he did all this in order to change reality so he'd have her back. And that is probably the very root of this, and he's denying that, But a lot of it really is just, he wants to go back to the way things were, so everyone else must, right? No? Assuming that kind of a thing is really short-sighted, because you cannot know another's mind. You can only know your own mind. You cannot know another's experience of life, because you live in your head, in your body. You can't just live in another one's body to the extent that you would understand that they actually want what you want. And that is exactly what he's decided for all these thousands or millions even of people. If you think about that, oof, man.
Did any of them seem troubled by that fact?
Yeah, a little bit. But only after we jogged their memories. But once they did, yeah, they were troubled by the fact that they couldn't remember the good things that went along with the bad that came. Because while we may not realize it at the time, and while it's often after instead of simultaneous, oftentimes, and this game's really good at illustrating that, the good things that happen to us only happen because of bad things that happened before. It's interesting. And it's a good fact to remember.
This reality is the true reality. All you have to do is recognize it as such.
That's ridiculous, because Maruki knows that that's not the true reality. Like, he literally had to create this reality. It's not the true one. You could argue it's a better one, just like he is, but true is wrong. Because again, the true reality was the one that was there before he decided to create a new reality. This is a fabricated reality. It is not true.
Once you do, you'll be just as happy as they are.
But I don't think anyone at the end of the day wants fake happiness. That's the other thing.
Didn't you see it yourselves?
We did, and it was scary because we were looking at all that and we know that they are living lies now, and that's spooky.
Your friends don't just want to live these lives. They want you to choose this reality for yourselves and live happily too.
And that's even more assuming that, like, he doesn't know that. He does not. But he's deciding he does. And that's what led to all this. Deciding he knows what other people want. Oy, Rookie. You're a kind-hearted person, but Jesus Christ. I'm so sad when she transferred to her parents' jobs, Because she totally did that instead of almost killing herself and then having to transfer because of the stigma of that. Oy, I really hope that Shiho is doing well. Like, in the actual reality, of course. Because in my headcanon, Shiho recovers and is able to meet a really nice guy and have a lovely life with him. God damn it. That is my headcanon. Because she fucking deserves... And you know what? Maybe she doesn't even need to be married. Maybe she just finds something for herself where she can be content for the rest of life and never think about suicide again. Never want to kill herself ever again. At the very least, That is my headcanon, because she fucking deserves it, damn it. And it doesn't require all this fake happiness, but goddamn, I really do hope she can have that kind of life at least, A content life, because this kind of reality is unfortunately unfathomable in real life. But what's interesting is if you could do exactly what Maruki's doing, would you do it? That's a really, really interesting thing to think about. I don't think I would, because I've made it clear the problems that I have with what he's doing.
Please, I want you to understand. For their sake, as well as yours.
Yeah, they're all happy, but, well... Is that really the end-all be-all? Like, think about that. Friends want to stay in this reality. But they don't know anything else, that's the thing. They're not given a choice because they think this is reality. They don't remember the real one. If they had a choice, would they choose this? I don't know about that. If they remembered everything, would they still want their dead loved ones to be with them? Or what have you, whatever happened after everything? I don't know if they would, or at least if all of them would. I'm pretty sure some of them would, but... Like, think about it. If someone you love died and then somehow they were able to come back later, like, think about that. I think it's handled really well in Mass Effect 2. I don't want to spoil Mass Effect 2 for y'all. Or 1. Because, well, yeah, I don't want to spoil Mass Effect for y'all, so I won't talk about that. But there's a character where that kind of thing's handled very well. Let's say that. The kind of thing where, like, a loved one died, and what would go through someone's mind if they just came back somehow, right? Like, if you've moved on from someone and they come back into your life, like, of course, you know, in this situation, they just don't, you know, it never happened, right? So it's a different beast, but, like, what if they remembered, though? I don't think any of them would ultimately choose to live like this. I don't know. Although, I don't know, maybe they would. I'm not sure. Some of them maybe might, but I feel like, honestly, if they... Well, I guess I have a feeling that throughout the game they'll remember more and more and more and then realize, you know what, no. I choose, as hard as it is, as much as I'd really rather not let this go, this is what I wanted to have back, right? I need to, you know, because I gained so much from this, over the years. Like, if these traumatic things had not happened to the party members in Persona 5, they would never have become Phantom Thieves. And all of the good things that came out of that would have never happened, so... yeah. It doesn't seem right. I got captured in Kamishita's palace, that's when I met you guys. When we go to Mementos and transform into, remember, Morgana, I believe in you! But, is that really true?
Well, it's time.
If I accept Maruki's offer, my friends and I will be able to live happily in this reality is created, or so he says. If we stay in this world, we could really lead happy lives, free from pain and suffering. But our memories will be distorted to allow for the new circumstances. There's probably no way to avoid that.
For the sake of Yoshizawa-san, and the rest of your friends, I ask you to give me your answer.
So, I have a feeling there's a bad end attached to this, and I'm kind of curious about it. But I want to only experience the side that my Joker would choose, and also I'm kind of afraid of what the ending is like with this here. I don't really want to go see another bad end and then go back to this again. I have a feeling that it might be a bad end. Either that, or it's just, like, overridden. But I also want to choose what my Joker would choose. I'm gonna look up what happens here, because I have a feeling it leads to a bad end. I don't know. It might also be just, but thou musted. But I have a feeling this kind of choice would not be but thou musted. I'm pretty damn sure this is a bad end, but... And while I'm curious to have it, I'm kind of also terrified at what it might imply. And I also don't want to go through this scene again. I might make an extra video about it maybe later. I don't know. I will more than likely actually just experience that on my own time, whether by watching a video about it or actually going back through this again. I very well might. Yeah, that's what I'll probably do. In my New Game Plus, I will choose that and see what happens. But in this one, Joker can't accept this reality for a lot of reasons. But honestly, his biggest one, because I'm a hopeless romantic, is the fact that Makoto probably forgot all about the fact that they were dating, and that really fucking destroys him inside, so yeah, no.
Huh?
Negotiations seem to have broken down.
I see. It seems we still haven't reached an understanding.
Unfortunately, because you're being too goddamn narrow-minded, Maruki. That's the problem here. Sumire Huggle. But yeah, this part breaks my heart
You're
here.
not serious, right? Please, I'm begging you, Senpai. Please let me live as Kasumi.
Ooh, man. Hide from the truth, Sumire. Generally doesn't end up well.
But why? This pain is too much. Why can't I just leave it behind me?
A lot of times we feel like the pain is too much, but then we live through it anyway, and we realize later that it never was too much. I believe in you, Sumire.
Kasumi is gone forever, and it's all Sumire's fault.
Oof, man, she's so far removed from it to protect herself that, you know. Again, like, well, she's so far removed from it that, like, she's literally removing herself from herself. Like, she's referring to herself in the third person. And, like, but, you know, this brings a question to mind. I think I've also addressed this earlier, but, like, did Maruki do this way before the beginning of Persona 5? He must have, right? Because she was living as Kasumi this entire year. That entire last year, right? Because Kasumi was the one that died and not Sumire, right? So did Maruki do this for her all the way back then? Or was she literally just living as Kasumi, like, on her own accord, but not entirely? Like, she still remembered everything and he helped her forget? I don't know. It's kind of confusing. Like, when did she start living as Kasumi, and did Maruki help with that? And, like, is Kasumi really the one that died, or was it Sumire? It must have been, right? It must have been Kasumi, and I'm just confused, because, like, I don't know. I guess she was living as Kasumi this whole time, but, like, how and why? And see, he was doing research in order to make this happen, right? Was he actually doing this research on her all the time ago, or was she just living as Kasumi on her own accord? Maybe she was. I don't know. I hope that'll be cleared up at some point. But yeah, this breaks my heart. But the thing is that she doesn't realize it because there's so much pain, but it's not her fault. If you think about it, yes, it's very easy to blame yourself in a situation like that. But if you think about it, Kasumi sacrificed herself so that you could live and continue, you know, having a happy life, right? And, well, you're not living how Kasumi would want you to, Sumire. I don't think she gets this. Kasumi would want her to go on and have a happy life, right? I'm sure she would. But she's instead chained to the past and chained to Kasumi, still, you know, still living in her shadow in an extremely real way now by trying to literally become her, instead of embracing herself and being herself. And it breaks my damn heart, and I'm sure it would break Kasumi's heart as well if she were alive to see this, you know. Or, you know, if you believe in a higher power, which I don't really, but if you do, then if, you know, she's watching this up from above, she's probably heartbroken, you know.
I can't live that kind of life!
Yes, you can, and we're here to teach you that you can. You'll be
Please,
okay, Sumire.
don't try to stop me!
Sorry, I've gotta, for your own good.
If you do, then I'll...
By the way, this here surprised me the first time when it happened. I'll discuss why in a second. Are you serious?
How stubborn. No matter what you say to her, I doubt she'll understand. I don't think we have a choice in the matter here. I could take care of it for you right now. But you'd prefer her to leave here alive, right? Just hurry up and end this.
and then he leaves the fight. I was expecting him to be like,
Don't
oh,
make
so
me do
she,
this.
so, you know, like, I was expecting him to immediately go unhinged and try to kill her, but it's interesting how he has restraint, and I think it's because as much hatred as he holds for, as far as I'm aware, every other living being in the world, like, he still respects, I guess, Joker enough. It's an interesting relationship that he has with Joker. It's really interesting, and I like how it's being explored in this expansion. Especially after, you know,
Can't stop this.
seemingly dying
I
in
refuse to live as
the
Kasumi's
palace.
killer.
in
Persona.
Pseudo's palace. You know, the sacrifice he did for Joker.
Sondrian!
Persona!
By the way, I wonder what language Sondrian originally was in, because as far as I remember, the way it's spelled, I would
Not
pronounce
done.
that Cendrillon. It's a very odd name for how it's pronounced. Apparently it's Sondrion, which is really far away from how it's spelled. So I have a feeling that is not English. I really do wonder what language it is.
Ravage them!
Please don't do this to me.
Although granted, there are definitely a few English words that are pretty
can't
far
go
away from
back.
how they're pronounced as far as how they're spelled, but not really to that degree that I can remember right now. It's an odd and interesting spelling.
Go down!
Bird. I don't know why I said bird. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock in the morning now, and while, like, I'm nocturnal, this is still pretty close to, you know, bedtime for me, ish. Although I'm trying to stay up later today for reasons, but yeah, like, I think honestly it's less that and more just I'm just a little bit weird today, and sometimes I'm a little bit less able to video game brain than other times. But anyway, I'm just kind of looking at different things to use as reasons. I actually want to use a big old physical skill. Try to conserve SP, basically. Sword dance, murder.
You're mine!
I think this might do it. I just realized I use sword dance when she has sword dance too.
Why are you doing this to me?
Because you need to freaking see reasons, Amira. I'm sorry.
Just leave me alone.
Leave you alone. You're the one that attacked me first. I don't know if you remember that or not.
Please don't do this to me.
I'm not doing anything to you. Yeah, traumatized people are very, very, very irrational. You're doing a good job of getting that across. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because, you need to come to your senses, girl. I don't know what else to say.
Looks like you lost.
Why?
You need to stop, Samire. For yourself.
Senpai. No. I can't. I can't go back to being Sumire. You saw it all for yourself, Senpai. It's my own fault that my sisters...
It's not, actually. She sacrificed herself for you. She pushed you out of the way. Now, granted, you could really say, well, yeah, if she didn't get in front of the car, then, but, you know, like, if you think about it, like, it would be your fault if you angrily pushed her into the car. Like, that would be, you know, murder and also your fault, but you didn't do that. You just ran and didn't see where you were going, and then your sister saved you. That's what happened. But yeah, survivor's guilt is fun. That's kind of what this is, right? And it's kind of worse, though, because, you know, in the mind of almost anyone going through something like this, you probably would think it's your fault, but it isn't. Like, she sacrificed herself for you, and she would want you to live happily, I would imagine, surely, right? Kasumi hug. Sumire hug. Man, that's still gonna take some getting used to. I mean, her name's right there on screen and I'm still doing it.
Why don't you understand?
I do understand. I just also understand that you need to stop.
Please. I beg you.
Sorry, Sumire. Big huggle. We're gonna help you. I'm sure throughout the course of this story you will come to terms with this, and I'm really excited to see her do that, because she deserves to be able to move on from this, and goddamn, it's hard, but I believe in her, she can do it.
Yoshizawa-san.
Ruki, I hope he also understands eventually that he's not helping and stops trying to do this, and we don't have to kill him or anything, hopefully.
I can give you strength, so you don't have to suffer.
Doctor.
Tell me, if you want your pain to end, and desire to live as Kasumi, I'll actualize it!
And then, three freaking ecchi for anti-pervert. What the fuck? Why? Why did it have to be tentacles? I understand it's probably supposed to look menacing.
Sadly, she has lost sight of herself.
Like,
she's in pain. Now,
the
be her
root of
guide,
it is
and together, escape
malicious,
from the nightmare.
almost, which I really wonder. Like, what exactly is the root of just how severe his distortion is?
I don't want to go back to my
And I
life.
have a feeling that he has so much power because of how severe his distortion is.
What the hell? This so-called
And I have-
kindness of his disgusts me. Let's do this quick.
It's very
I
interesting.
refuse to go back. I'm happy here.
I really do wonder
This is
why it
where I
looks like. It
belong.
literally looks evil. But, like, why would an intent like this to stop other people's suffering
I'll rescue
look
you.
like this?
The only way I
I
know
really
how.
do wonder why. I have a feeling there is more to it than I'm even aware of or that the game has let on yet, right? Even, regarding what happened with his ex-girlfriend, right? It must have been severely traumatizing for him. And I really wonder what all goes into him being like this. And why his intent to help her is represented visually in this way. It's really interesting. I really wish it didn't look like hentai. Because, honestly,
totally
I'm a
berserk.
perv and I actually enjoy hentai to an extent, but there's a good few things in hentai that I can't stand. And the tentacles thing, and any of the kind of, monster-y fetishes in hentai is not my thing at all.
We need to stop her persona.
I mean, okay, I'm not gonna make that distinction because I'll just look like the pervert that I am. Anyway.
I'll take that.
Because, I want to so much. Okay, so, what I mean is, the whole
ate the
thing
smaller
about
one?
girls being molested by ugly monsters, just, ugh. But I like monster girls, that are still beautiful but have monster features. I want to make that distinction. Anyway.
What a pain. We'll have to beat it before it heals itself again. Persona!
Ding,
Ravage
ding,
them!
ding, ding. Even the monster boys are really on. Anyway, my bias needs to focus and play the video game.
Let's go.
Persona! There! Fear my power!
I do fear your power, Akachi. But even more than your power, I fear, where it comes from, basically. I fear your... I feel like he would kill anyone given a reason. And that's scary. And his
Make a
reasons don't have to
decision.
be much, I feel.
Persona!
Even now, but there's more criteria, I think. Because he has no qualms about killing her, basically himself, if Joker wasn't involved. He literally said as much, but... It's interesting.
Go down!
Okay, I need to care about health whatsoever.
Persona!
Okay, do we have items? Yeah, okay, let's... Do we have anything that restores... Hold on. Please tell me that this can be used in combat.
Need this?
Okay, good, yes. Yes, I do need that, thank you. I did need that, I should say. There's no end to this. What the hell is this thing?
I refuse to return. I will never go back to being such pathetic, soot-coated garbage!
But that's not what you were. It's really interesting here, by the way, that, you know, the root of the persona, and because again, the persona is your in this game specifically is your rebellious will, right? Like this rebellious will it comes from not wanting to go back to being Sumire, right? So I think that is why we are fighting her. Interesting. It's very interesting.
You can't tell? It's her refusal to accept the truth.
Yes. Which is probably the actual root of her suffering. Like, the actual mental suffering itself is probably compounded by the fact that she won't accept it. That's a basic psychological fact that we know about how human minds work, and it's really helped me to accept some truths about life, especially because, well, in real life, unlike what Maruki was able to do, you can't really just snap your fingers and, well, everything that you lost is now back. That'd be great, I'm sure. It would be. It would be good. There is good. I mean, like, of course these people are happy, right? But, like, is that happiness really needed or good at the end of the day? And that's a good thing to think about. Like, I don't think it is needed at all. You can... You know, you don't have to be 100% happy, and you can certainly be more content and, like, generally at peace and generally have a pretty damn good life without literally no traumatic things happening. You can always move past suffering. That's what I've learned. Wait.
We can't afford to waste time on this shit!
I had a feeling this was an unwinnable fight. I have a feeling this is a... If we fight things and then there's a cutscene that has this kind of music, I kind of have a feeling by now that this is like the universal cue for this is an unwinnable fight! I had a feeling this was scripted just because of how it went before. I don't exactly remember why I thought that way when I first played this, when I screwed up the recording. But, yeah.
Here it comes!
I don't think so.
Who the heck? Ryuji? Oh, cool! So our friends have come. Or at least one of them. Where's everyone else,
Damn
though?
it, Skull. I told you not to rush
Oh,
in by
here we
yourself
go.
like that.
Okay, fuck yeah. Do we get our party members for the rest? I hope so.
At least it seemed to work out in our favor.
Hell yeah. Yay, Makoto's back. And so is everyone else. You came.
Our apologies for making you wait so long.
It's alright, Yusuke.
Is that?
You were kind of, you know, trapped in a reality where you forgot about a whole Phantom Thieves thing, so... It's not like we can really blame you for that, but... Blame? Wow, I'm turning Japanese. I'm sorry, that was a very racist and bad joke. I'm sorry. Blame. But goddamn, yes, this song is perfect for this. Hoip. The universal Hoip song, because, you know, it's the final boss song, and it's also epic. It's awesome.
Akechi-kun and Dr. Maruki?
Yoshi's always trapped by... Why is her persona doing this? What in the world is going on here?
So much of this shit makes no sense, but we'll cover it later. We've got to stop her first, right, Joker?
Alright, let's get in formation.
I love this. I haven't gotten to this part of the fight yet, if my
Okay, guys,
reaction
leave the
wasn't
navigation
obvious.
to me.
So, I am now blind again for a moment, until this whole expansion's over.
Let's push him back.
Unbelievable. Why did they come here?
I won't hold back!
I love what they did with her voice, by the way. Cendrillon's voice is... Cendrillon? Is that how she called it? I don't remember right now. But yeah, her voice is really, really cool here. I love the echoey effect on it. She's badass sounding.
Go down!
I do wonder who voice acted her. I wonder if it is Kasumi's voice actress slash... I think the same voice actress covered both Sumire and Kasumi. It makes too much sense for that not to be the case, but I wonder who Sendonran's voice is. I feel like it's a different woman, though. I have no idea. Anyway. I'll look that up later.
This is my other self.
I like looking up voice actors. It's a fun thing that I like to do, and I like to realize, oh hey, this is also a voice actor in this other thing that I like. Hell yeah!
Ready on your mark.
All right.
Don't ask I'm ready, but I'm ready to take them down now.
Okay.
I lend it.
Oh cool. Oh cool, Yosuke and Makoto. I wonder why specifically this party is the one. Is it maybe like a weaknesses-based thing? It would be awesome. Or to, that actually sounds like Makoto's voice actress here in the which would be Jeremy Lee, who's awesome, who also voices female in Cyberpunk. And she's very good at being a badass. Persona! And saying badass things badassly. Similarly to the reason that I love Jennifer Hale's performance as female shepherd in Mass Effect.
Ravage them!
Being a badass is really cool.
I'll break them.
Persona!
I am thou. Prepare yourself.
It looks like it's working. Just hang in there a little longer. Persona!
But yeah, I'm glad that I love Yusuke, and of course, you know, I love and Joker really loves Makoto, and also Makoto's my absolute favorite character in this entire video game. And I kind of feel like it's a little uncanny that these were the two that were chosen. As for like, hey, this game knows who I like. But yeah, and also again, Makoto's Joker's girlfriend. It makes too much goddamn sense to me that she's the one that jumps in. One of the two that jump in. Now, I'm pretty sure it's chosen by the game for other reasons, but like, that's uncanny to me and I love it. Alright.
Out of our way!
I'll take that!
Persona!
His health's already low. Actually, wait, no, that's not. I'm not controlling Yusuke. I'm controlling Joker. So I will sort. Actually, no. We need to be doing this stuff because we need to kill those things before she can deal with them, right? Okay, we gotta be careful about his health, though. I don't want to heal. I just want to use all of my, you know, abilities to murder things right now. So, get this fight over with. So, keep doing
I'll
it.
use my persona!
Actually, wait. Let's just have her meet
Okay.
Rahan. Think about that. So they can just keep using
No
physical
time for
stuff.
thanks.
Because all three of them have really good physical stuff. So, Joker, Akechi, and Yusuke.
I won't hold back! Stand down
Knocked down. He needs cover.
for my joy.
All right, Queen.
Noise dodge, Makoto.
Persona!
Wheel.
That time.
Wheel.
Persona!
I apologize for the constant delay that I just caused y'all. With my wheels. Desert. Song is awesome. I'm sure you all know that by now. It is awesome. It's pretty
Are you
early
ready?
game.
Time for the finishing move.
Heck yes!
Let's go!
I'll have the usual.
Of course.
Oh my god.
Master!
My
I
soul
don't know if I've
into
heard that
this
specific
bowl.
one. I'll have
Now
the
that's
usual.
what I'm talking about.
I love you. Ryuji is awesome.
I'm trying to eat here.
I love it so much. He's very angry. Let him finish his damn ramen. Beautiful.
You sure were hungry. Persona.
Sure was. The sheer power of his hunger made him do a lot of damage. I love those showtimes just because of their sheer comical beauty
Prepare yourself.
and just badassery. Evil synthetic organism. Like literally, these things are represented as pure evil. I really wonder that. Why is his intent, it seems, represented by those tentacles and maybe is it because maybe it really is selfish in the end? As much as he's disguising it as selflessness. Is that really all that's supposed to say? Maybe.
Persona! Crush them!
Might also be deeper than that too. And that's the thing I love about these games, is reading into the symbolism
my
of
other
everything,
self.
or the at least possible
Die!
symbolism. I find that very enjoyable to do.
Persona.
I can hear them. The bells of midnight are tolling. Now, my dream won't be. The clock strikes midnight.
Clock strikes midnight. Interesting. I bet that's symbolic too.
Yoshizawa-san!
You've all... I can't believe you've thrown away your happiness just to come here and how? It's impossible.
You're Dr. Maruki, right?
That's right. More importantly, why are...
Dude, what the hell's Doc doing inside a palace?
He's ruling this palace, is what he's doing.
What?
Not only that, he's the one who's generated this whole distorted reality. Isn't that right, Maruki-san?
All of this was done for your own joy.
Our joy.
That's right. I only wanted to grant your wishes. Each and every one.
Wait, you what? What do you mean? We never wished for anything like this.
Is that really true? Huh? No, never mind. So, you all intend to deny the reality I've created for you. If you want to fight me, then so be it. If you plan on changing my heart, that's fine too. But before that, I think there's still room for discussion here. Also, I believe taking care of Yoshizawa-san is more important than settling this issue right now.
Planning to run again?
We can get back to fighting if that's what you really want, but I think you're rather exhausted at the moment.
It's really interesting. Maruki's sheer benevolence as a palace owner is a really interesting thing because that's never been a thing before for various reasons. Not even Futaba's palace, where she literally invited us in. Because the whole, symbolism of it was she keeps pushing people away, and so her shadow was constantly actually antagonizing us in the end. But he's not really doing that. Well, sort of and also sort of not. It's really interesting.
Yoshizawa-san!
There's still time.
I know this is a random thing, but, like, again, I always love to, like, marvel at the design of these places. Like, the cool tiling designs, like those circles there and the rugs, and the color scheme, the whites and the blues and the grays, and interesting. Very interesting.
February 3rd. I'll hear your final decision on the 3rd. If your views can't align with mine by then, we'll have no other choice but a physical altercation. As much as I would loathe that, I still can't give up what I've started, what I swore I'd do. On the day I lost everything that mattered to me.
I've lost his reading. I want to pursue him, but I doubt that's even possible right now.
Let's get out of here. Yoshizawa's gotta rest anyway.
The plot to be thickenization and
I'm still just as shocked as I was when we first came here. The navigators returned to our devices. A palace is visible in our own reality.
Does this mean reality's broken right now or something? Something to do with Dr. Maruki anyway.
Hey, how much do you already know about this stuff?
I should tell them what I know so far. Recap. Da-da-da-da.
So Dr. Maruki, he altered our reality to make our dreams come true?
This is all too much for me to handle at once.
Apologies for the interruption. Mind if I interject?
That's right! Akechi!
There's no reason to be defensive. Had I wished to kill you all, I would have simply done so already.
He's helping for now.
So you're not here to fight us?
I've already put our feud behind me. Not only that, since he and I both refuse to accept reality as Maruki sees fit to make it, we currently have the same goal.
So what you're saying is you're using him.
What about the rest of you? Considering how you were all living your ideal lives in that other reality, until you decided to come here, Maruki seems to be telling the truth about taking your happiness into consideration. While his heart is distorted, he is quite different from the adults whose hearts you've changed so far. Now that you know his intentions, I'm most interested in learning whether you still plan on fighting him or not.
What do you mean?
I'm up against someone with the power to distort reality as we know it. The more allies on my side, the better. If we all share the same goal, shouldn't we join forces and improve our odds?
Sumire Hago.
I'll be going now. Be sure to consider my point.
Hey! Hey! Jeez.
Yoshizawa, are you alright?
Are you okay?
Oh, yes.
I'm sorry that I caused you all so much trouble.
No, you don't need to apologize.
We should probably go our separate ways for now and discuss it at a better time.
Yeah, tomorrow we can... Oh yeah, third semester's starting up tomorrow, right?
I guess we're going back to school, huh? We still don't have any idea what we want to do from here on out, though.
We've got time. Maruki said he'll wait until February 3rd before... Let's really think it over before making our decision.
The plot thickens. I'm very interested to see where this goes. I hope it opens up now where we can, Velvet Room, hopefully, and we can actually pick people. At least, I would hope. I would love those two things.
I didn't know you guys were out together. Wait, what's wrong, Futaba?
Hey, Sojiro, is Mom?
Mom? You mean Wakaba? Well, what about her?
Nah, it's nothing. It's just I happen to remember something about her, that's all.
I see. Okay, then. You know, I caught myself thinking about her earlier, too. Odd coincidence, huh? Well, I'm gonna head home for the night. How about you, Futaba?
I'm gonna stick around a bit longer.
See? Don't stay out too late, all right? The place is all yours. You've got school tomorrow, too, so get to bed at a reasonable time.
Mom really is gone again. Sojiro sees it that way too now.
Interesting. Yeah, interesting. The moment they remembered, it all just, you know, changed again, back to normal. The reality is undistorted.
Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you what happened before we came to rescue you. We all ended up here at the same time after you left for Odaiba. What was that?
Wait, you're...
What the? Oh yeah, that's right. Why were you human, Mona?
Yeah! You're supposed to be a cat!
I am not a... Oh, wait. Yeah, I guess I am a cat.
Holy fuck, who are you and what did you do with Morgana? Whoa.
How did we never realize?
You know what's hilarious? Oh, that's right. He does... Wait, does he? No, you know what? In Strikers, which came out after Royal, although no, it doesn't really take Royal into account, does it? Yeah, I don't think so, because it was developed as around the same time as Royal, wasn't it? But, like, in Strikers, he's still on the whole I'm not a cat thing. I'm probably reading into it too much. He probably always realized, yes, I'm a cat, but, like, he wanted to be a human, so he's, I don't know. I just find it interesting how he literally said that when he did, like, a whole gimmick is, I'm not a cat! And it's still a thing in Strikers, but he literally just said, I guess I am a cat. That's the last thing I would have expected Morgana to ever say, regardless of how true it is.
You know, we've got more important things to do than sit around here and figure out what happened to us.
That's right!
Derg,
You said he was headed to
gotta
Odaiba, correct?
save our friend.
And with Akechi-kun? We need to find them! Once we got to Odaiba, we spotted the palace. You know how the rest goes. You were fighting this whole time, weren't you? While I was just bumming around town without a care.
Futaba Haku.
I'm sorry. Deep down, I always suspected something strange was happening. Something wrong.
And everyone seemed to a degree, right? And if she said always, then even before we poked her about it. So I bet over time they would have come to the realization on their own too, right?
Being with my mom was so much fun, I stopped trying to figure it out.
Futaba Huggle. I don't blame her.
But I totally snapped out of it thanks to you. I'm all good now.
I'm sorry that you had to give that up, though. It's okay if this is painful, you know.
Yep, no worries. I'm fine. With...
Sorry, Futaba, I can kind of see through that facade. Huggle.
School's tomorrow, right? You better not stay up late. You might end up oversleeping.
Futaba Huggle.
We've all been through too much today. Let's try to get some sleep.
Yeah. All of them had everything they wish they hadn't lost. And then all of a sudden, they've realized it's all gone again. That's only... What, you got something to say? You were quite the looker. Look what you're talking about. How can it be anything else? Morgana. Morgana and Zigo. Still the same old Morgana. All this trouble with Yoshizawa and Maruki, we've got nothing but problems right now. But now we should all meet up at the hideout. We've got to recap the situation. I've been trying to wrap my head around all this, and it's just not happening. I can't think straight at all. I gotta explain to you, I'm still so confused myself. Either way, I think we've all earned a bit of rest. Also, I don't know why my brain never made this parallel, but Haru ends up losing her father, Makoto ends up losing her father. I just kind of realized that. Right. Certainly, the combat has tired us out as well. We could all use some time to decompress. And on that note, good night. Oh, I'm gonna need time to figure all this out. Either way, we can think about this tomorrow. For now, we should go to sleep.
Let's do it.
Man. Everyone's probably having a Futaba-esque. Man, I wish I could just stay like that. Anyway, you know, issue. Many hugs for everyone.